Well, hey folks, it's your old pal King Waspinator. Welcome back to Total Party Skills. Still trying to build the channel, so be sure to hit like and subscribe. Blah 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 blah. Comment about how much I suck and hit the thumbs down, all that good stuff. Anyway, I want to give, I guess, a few basic thoughts on this whole TSR nonsense. Okay, this is not the first time I've found myself having to do a video on GenCon. Several years ago on my older channel, I did a video, actually one of my more popular videos, about, that whole incident where the quartering got beat up and then GenCon didn't do shit about it. And now, apparently, GenCon has banned TSR, at least as of this recording. I don't know if they've reversed that decision. And largely in a big much ado about nothing, because Ernie Gygax had been on some podcaster's podcast and said nothing wrong, but apparently because he didn't explicitly say that this is like trans inclusive or something like that, some people on Twitter are trying to make a hay out of it and dragging up a bunch of crap about his dad. Now, right off the bat, let's be clear, this is not actually really TSR. Just because you're some dude's kid doesn't mean that you're necessarily, privy to the genius of what your father did. Christopher Tolkien is not the same level as writer as J.R.R. Tolkien. Brian Herbert really fucking sucks compared to Frank Herbert. Just because my dad's a musician doesn't necessarily mean you want to just be having me play lead guitar in your band. And so on and so forth. And so, already this whole TSR thing was like a cynical nostalgia grab where, they're just banking on name recognition. And, apparently the thing that was said that I guess is what was controversial is that, he had said that, TSR is going to be aiming for that older disenfranchised audience. And I don't know why this is a surprise. Who the fuck else was going to be at all interested in TSR coming back at all? If anything, this has inadvertently given them a bunch of free publicity, because of the way, we got our two, rival factions in all of our different fandoms now, because one faction has decided to take umbrage over this thing. Another faction's gonna, support it no matter hell or high water. And for all things I've heard, it doesn't exactly sound like this Giant Lands game is going to be anything particularly great or innovative with good rules or anything. It's not like they're bringing D&D back. They're not even going to be using the D20 system. It's something percentile based from what I've heard. But the fact that Gen Con has now banned TSR, even if it's not really the real TSR, there's irony there, considering Gen Con's fucking origins. I feel it's real indicative of just the sheer level of hysteria our culture has reached. And I don't know. I'd been planning on, Palladium Books had put out their thing, they're calling all GMs. We'd like some people to run some games on our behalf. And I was, planning on doing it. I'd contacted their webmaster person and had some back and forth, sent them what my proposal was and what times I was willing to do it. Thankfully, because I was going to be having to do it online because I don't feel like going up to Indiana, I hadn't actually registered yet fully because they don't do their online registration for the online part of the con until the very end of June. So thankfully I haven't given them any money yet. Because I'm strongly considering just fuck it, how am I supposed to feel comfortable? I mean, as a white guy, the Rifts adventure I was planning on running is set off the coast of Madagascar, where it's a bunch of Lemurian characters saving a boatload of Swahili people. So, I mean, clearly, that was going to be problematic anyway. And, none of my pre-generated characters are gay or have wheelchairs. So, I don't know, maybe it's best if I just don't even get involved. And also, don't support these people with your money. Stop supporting these people with your money if they're doing things that offend you. So, I guess for the three whole people that I have any sort of influence on, tentatively, I'm just going to float it out there that maybe we might want to try some sort of boycott Gen Con. Maybe actually show a little solidarity and not just... let these amateurs who are into the game because of retro pop culture, they're not the same kind of gamers as it used to be. I mean, there's some exceptions, those people still exist. But man, so many of these new kids, they're not in the game for the same reasons. And you know, if they're willing to try to shut things down and throw their weight around to have their way, you know, I don't see why the rest of us can't do the same. Money talks and bullshit walks, they say. So anyway, I guess that's all my thoughts on TSR. It's kind of a tempest in a teacup. Regardless of whether or not TSR is a legit game company and whether or not, you know, Gygax Jr. is a legit person, is entirely sidelined by the nature of how this ban hammer came down upon them. It really doesn't make any sense. So that's it. Like I said, be sure to comment to tell me how wrong I am and hit the thumbs down. And whatever you do, don't subscribe and don't share this on your social media. Fuck that. Screw this place. I'm out. Peace.